Listen up, assholes. We're about to dive into the clusterfuck that is the concept of matter and 3D and 4D and apparently up to 11 dimensions. Sit tight, this will be concise. 3D and 4D factors. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. We're three-dimensional beings living in a three-dimensional world. Our senses, our movements, everything we experience is in glorious 3D. But here's where the shit gets trippy. Time is the fourth dimension, and we experience it in a unique way. We live forwards, but our memories unfold backwards. So our thoughts are trapped in 3D, or do they transcend the fourth dimension? Now let's talk about the theoretical asshole known as dark matter and dark energy. Scientists have been jerking each other off over these concepts, searching for evidence to support their existence. But here's the catch. If we can observe it, measure it, quantify it in 3 dimensions, does it really exist? Does it? Is there supporting evidence that support it? A short answer is yes. At the end of the day, everything comes down to the observable evidence in 3 dimensions. Cosmologists have their cosmic, physicists have their mathematicals, and biologists have their cellular playground. But if it ain't rendered in 3D, it seems like it's hard to get the current society to write down the observed as evidence. Evidence is the basis of fact, isn't it? Now, to reinforce this notion of evidence as fact, observable evidence is something we're daily met with when it comes to astrology. While physicists may not see the correlation, and cosmologists claim that the constellations are all thought up, we can't discount what we've observed for millennia. It's not merely 3D variables involved, clearly. To sustain modern cosmologists' claim, the parameters of the zodiac signs and its constellations aren't consistent to the parameters of cosmology. Biology may not find evidence in the multicellular organisms, but to the scientists who aren't liable to the discredit of their reputation, evidence of the zodiac phenomenons, like you, is clearly something that we can observe. Who's to say that there aren't higher dimensions at play that we haven't discovered yet? Michio Kaku's mathematical reality suggests dimensions 5 through 11. Let's keep that in mind. Again, we can only sustain evidence rendered in 3D. Some could argue 4D. But when it comes to tangible evidence beyond these dimensions, the conversation is left unsettled. Here's the thing. Skepticism is healthy, but where does a skeptic draw the line? It should be clear. It should be evidence, observable and consistent evidence. While we should demand observable evidence before accepting something as fact, we shouldn't dismiss the theoretical realms entirely. Now, listen up. I've been collecting irrefutable, tangible evidence rendered in 3D. Has been reviewed by many peers, and the consensus is, I'm right, the claim is that a sentience not in 3D is capable of manipulating variables directly or indirectly affects everyone on this planet and their welfare. The meta in these conditions manifests in reality. In other words, the right shit. I experience shit, I get shitted on, and as it turns out, people don't have a good time. They get a bad time. If you want to know more about this phenomenon, the very thing to go to is this link, or Twitter Torborn. I'll get more into this in the next video, but for now, keep an open mind and be fairly warned. What you're about to read is something that involves a crime syndicate, a bunch of crazy people forming a pathocratic crew, and some very demigod-like discoveries.